Welcome to Powerful Women Revealed. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and the show you're about to watch was previously recorded at WATD in February. My guest today is Adrienne Baumann, and she is the founder of 508 Marketing. She's a stand-up comedian in her spare time and a community theater actor. And she's also a really good friend. And Kathy D and Michelle Burmis are the producers of this show, and you'll see Larry with the Midday Show pop up into the background a few times as well. I just watched a bit of the show myself, and we had a cute little moment at one of the breaks where we did the Seinfeld thing where we were hiding our mouths so you couldn't read our lips. And I can't even remember what we were saying. But I hope you will enjoy the show. And without further ado, here is yet another powerful woman revealed.
Good afternoon, and welcome to WATD's Powerful Women Revealed. You're invited to enjoy an ongoing series of uplifting, educational, and intimate discussions with local, powerful women that have all made the commitment to take their businesses and organizations to a higher level. These entrepreneurs have turned their dreams into reality. They work hard, outshine, and they mean business. These women reveal and share their inspirations, milestones, and successes with your host, Nicole Perry.
Good afternoon and welcome to Powerful Women Revealed. We are revealing another powerful woman today. Yes, and we're talking about time and career, but really also about relationships. My guest today is a returning guest of the Power Show. She is a local certified expert in email marketing with Constant Contact. She is the founder of 508marketing.com. She's a stand-up comedian in her spare time and whom I'd also consider a very good friend, Adrienne. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You are a good friend. And did I use the term whom properly?
Home?
I said whom I consider a very good friend.
That is correct.
I know, because we just discovered a few minutes ago and in previous interviews that you were an English major.
Yes.
I better get my act together today.
English lit majors can span various specialties, and I'm not a grammar major, so relax.
Okay, I can relax. I know, but you're
I'm finicky.
You're all about it.
It's just in me that way. I can't help it. I don't mean to be critical if I'm correcting somebody's grammar. I'm just trying to make the world a better place.
You're one sentence at a time.
One sentence at a time.
Okay, now you've been on the show a couple of times. You interviewed me once.
Yes, that was cool.
That was very fun. It was a little weird, though, for me, being on the other side. But give us a little insight into your background. What did you live on the Cape.
I do.
And where did you go to school?
I actually grew up in Tampa, Florida, in a suburb north of Tampa called Land O'Lakes.
Oh, that's
not
right.
the butter.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so I went to Land O'Lakes High School, not the butter, in Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Okay, and now, so what brought you up here?
I caught the Gulf Stream, and it just carried me north.
Come on now.
No, it was, long story short, my parents were divorced, so my father also lived in Florida at the time, so I was I was out of college. I went to the University of South Florida in Tampa, go Bulls, and my dad told me that they were moving to the Cape. Then, of course, I'm like, what, Canaveral? What? You sell insurance. What are you going to do at the space station? But he said, Cape Cod. Okay, where's that? Massachusetts. Okay, where's that? It's one of the little ones up there, right?
So you're like one in a million, because I feel like everyone who lives here has been here, was from here, born here, raised here, always come back here, something like, you know what I mean?
Well, it was second degree. So my stepmom had visited the Cape, and she's the one who wanted to come back. So when they came, and I came to visit, it was my dad's 50th birthday at that time, so I came up to visit. And then when I went back home, the boy with whom I was living said, I don't like you anymore. And at that time, I was in Michigan, which was an Arctic freaking uninhabitable tundra for a girl from Florida.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
From October to April. So anyway, I called my dad and I said, so, I'm going to be moving somewhere.
And maybe I could
come out here. He said, Dad, come out here, stay with us for a little while and see what happens. And that was 18 years ago, and I'm still here.
Oh, see, I moved. I grew up in Massachusetts, and then I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then found my way back. Like, I just love it here.
We saw a lot of that on the other end in Florida throughout college, especially. A lot of kids would come to the schools in that area, or they would come down on spring break and say, I'm going to move there. And then they'd get extremely disillusioned because, it's not like that all the time. You're going to have to work and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And so we would always laugh because they'd come down, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Oh, you'll be gone next year. Okay. They totally would. Most of the time they would leave and go back wherever they came from.
Oh, huh.
And then they come back, in
when
retirement.
I was just going to say in the later years.
Yeah, so I did
God's waiting room, right? Florida. Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
All right. I know that was not very nice.
That's what they say. There's an exit on the highway. Last stop before heaven. No.
Oh. Well, see, with my photo gifts, I used to make like little palm tree gifts, and I'd put, Florida, God's waiting room on all the.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't know. Now, have you always loved marketing and social media? Because your business is 508 Marketing. People can find you 508marketing.com. Have you always loved it? So, because English, your English does play a role in that. It's kind of befitting for you, right?
That's one of the things, when you major in English Lit, the question always is why?
Yeah.
And oftentimes it's like, okay, I'm going to go into teaching, or I'm going to go into mass communications, or something else entirely. I majored in English Lit because as I was picking out my classes in college, and those were just the ones I gravitated to. And then junior year, it said, okay, you have to declare a major. Like, okay, what do I have the most credits in? And English. Okay, I'm going to declare that one.
Oh,
so I didn't really have
that's a great way to do it, though. Yeah. Really, it's a time saver a little bit, right?
Just picking the classes I want. But the message here and the lesson learned is, talk to your advisor. Use your advisor.
Yeah.
Don't just go.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun learning all the various things that I enjoyed. And, again, when it was time to actually put it into use, it was always sales and marketing. That was just, it's people. I love people. I love communicating. I love meeting people, learning about people. And really that is sales and marketing. And it just fell in that way. So at the time when I was a kid growing up, my family had a travel agency. Because we're Greek, it was either a restaurant or a travel agency. So we had the travel agency in my era. The restaurant was before I was born. So that was my background, was always in hospitality, travel, and that kind of stuff. And so that worked really well when I landed on the Cape, because it's lots of hospitality and tourism. And it was always in that kind of component of marketing, selling.
And what do you think is the most important thing about marketing?
Oh, gosh.
Or what is the most important thing to remember when you're marketing?
I think the most important thing that people sometimes forget, especially now with all the digital media, is to always keep in mind, what is your goal? What's the goal for that particular campaign?
Yeah.
Specifically social media. Lots of times folks say, okay, we need to have our business on Facebook. We need to be there. We need to be engaging and doing all this stuff.
But what's your point? What's your mission?
What are you trying to get to?
Your intention.
Exactly. So
Love
it's
that word,
remembering the
intention.
goals. Yeah.
Okay. And now, how often do you provide classes through Constant Contact? Well, let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
So the 508 Marketing, explain how you help your clients, because you don't do it for them.
No.
You don't want to.
No. Lots of folks do, and that's great, and I love to refer to them. But what 508 Marketing does is provides educational workshops, which I do throughout the Cape and the South Shore and even into Rhode Island a little bit. So I provide workshops and seminars on email marketing, social media marketing, and all those tools. And what I do as far as the consultation service is provide individual coaching and training for one-on-one or for small groups, and to help people if they need to learn how to use specific products, we'll do that, or if they need to just set up a strategy and understand what am I doing with my social media marketing. And that's where it goes back to let's set your goals, build the strategy, understand who your demographic is, where are they, where are we going to reach them, and make that plan.
And so within that plan, it's you do focus on the email marketing, but you can also help people on the Facebook and the Google Plus and the LinkedIn.
It's all of the above.
It's all of the above. Okay. All right. Now, what prompted you to start your own business? Where were you before the 508 marketing?
I had a baby.
Oh, okay. So you were home on the computer.
Well, it was always something that I did. You know, whenever I was working full time, I still enjoyed dabbling in, educating and participating in, tech conferences and things like that. But after I had my son, then I wasn't going back to work full time.
Yeah.
Then actually at the same time, it was just fortuitous that Constant Contact started their authorized local expert program. So it was just timing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is
perfect timing.
Yeah. So I can set up my own business that I can do on my schedule so that I can be there for my child.
Yeah.
And as his schedule changes, I can adapt around it.
I love it that when we, as mothers, when we have the children, even though we're home and we're homebound because you got newborn babies and what have you, it's a time to reflect and figure out who you are.
Right.
And you really start to uncover who you are.
And what do you want to do if you make the rules?
And ideas start to spark and fly, and because you really start to get creative, listening to yourself.
And that's when I also was able to begin dabbling into the comedy end of things. After I had him, I was able to figure that into the schedule of my life. Say, okay, this is something I can do.
And you found a lot of comedy in having a child.
Oh, good Lord. Yes.
As we all do.
Yes. Some of it tragicomedy, but
No. Oh, fun comedy.
Drama comedy.
Oh my God, the sentences that come out of my mouth. Please don't sit on your daughter. I mean, your daughter. Please don't sit on your sister, or just ridiculous things that I never thought would come out of my mouth.
Yep.
Really funny. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're going to have to go to a quick break. I hope you're going to stay with us. We are with my good friend Adrienne Baumann, and she's with 508marketing.com. You are listening to Powerful Women Revealed right here on 95.9 WATD. Welcome back to Power. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and my guest is Adrienne Baumann, and she's with 508marketing.com, where you can find more information about her services. And, she is very passionate about marketing, but she's also very passionate about community theater and, and being a comedian and all that kind of stuff. What are you doing in community theater, and how often are you doing it?
Okay, well, I am participating with the Woods Hole Theater Company in Falmouth, because that's where I live.
Okay.
I'm not in Woods Hole, but close enough.
Yeah.
So I've done a couple of shows there, and it was really just dabbling. It was one of those, when you're a kid and you get these fantastical ideas and you think, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be great. And then as you grow up and things just happen and you don't do it. So that's what I've spent the last 4 or 5 years doing now, is just going back to some that.
Some of those things.
To do comedy, but never really knew how or what to do, whatever. So now that I've developed enough maturity and self-confidence, I can just do it now. And so that's what I'm sort of exploring now as an adult, these wonderful things that I never did as a young adult.
I love it. Now, and what roles? So I've done a
couple of shows, like real live plays at Woods Hole. We did Love, Loss, and What I Wore. That was by Nora Ephron. And it was a staged reading. That's the way the show is set up. So that one was all over Broadway with a rotating cast of characters, if you've seen it.
No.
And it was really wonderful. It's a wonderful show if you ever get a chance to even read it or see it or look at it on YouTube or something. So I was able to participate in that. And then most recently I was in Harvey, the story about the giant invisible rabbit. It was a movie in the 40s.
Really?
Oh my God, with Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, I have not seen it, but
so great. So I got to play Nurse Kelly. So that was super fun.
Okay. And what was her character like?
Oh, the gist of the story, Harvey, is so the character is Elwood, and that was played by Jimmy Stewart in the movie. And he is just an easygoing, happy-go-lucky guy, and his best friend is a 6.5-foot invisible white rabbit. And so
it doesn't really seem like it would make a good movie or a good play.
Such a good story.
I'm sure the play's hilarious.
Yeah. So the gist of it is his sister is trying to commit him into the mental institution.
Oh.
And she goes in there, my brother sees this rabbit, and then they commit her. And then she gets out and she thinks he should be in. And then really everybody has these revelations about themselves involving their relationship, so to speak, with this invisible rabbit. And it's adorable.
Oh my God. All right. Now, so you completed the play?
Yeah, that was last fall.
Oh, do you have another one on the horizon? Or?
Well, we were just going to do a midwinter review that got snowed out, so that's going to be rescheduled in April.
Oh, okay.
So at Woods Hole Theater. We don't have a date set yet, but it is going to be more in the spring. And what that show is going to be is kind of like a cabaret style of many of the different performers within the theater company doing snippets and bits and pieces. So it's going to be really fun and full of surprises and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, now do you sing and dance?
I do not sing.
No.
And dancing is something I don't do outside of my home.
No, outside of my home. So really just the comedy and the acting is really something you're just kind of dabbling in.
Yeah, it's my creative release. It's what I get to do for myself versus being a mom and a wife and running a business and all that stuff. So that's the creative outlet that I enjoy. And I love connecting with people. So the same way when I'm doing workshops and seminars, it's still that connection that you get.
Now, how are you working all of this into your life?
I've gotten good at juggling.
Yeah.
And it takes a village, honestly. So I'm very fortunate that I have the awesomest neighbors in the world who
to help out.
Are huge theater folks. I mean, my neighbors are the best. I mean, they've been in theater forever. They have a son about this age as my son, so we do babysit for each other when there's rehearsals because we're in different shows. So we're able to do that.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I'm grateful for them because we don't really have a lot of family nearby. My mom's still down in Florida. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of handing off.
Yeah. Wow. I'm not really good at the handing. Well, I'm good at handing off. I'm not good at reciprocating and taking the other neighbor's kids. And I'm like, no, I got to work, But if you want to take my son or my daughter, go right ahead. You're welcome to.
It's all good. It's all good.
Now, getting back to the marketing, why are you so drawn to technology?
Because it's cool.
I know.
It's fun. I don't know. I think some
Do you have
people
every gadget?
Not every gadget, but way more than I need.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I have more than I need.
And are there specific gadgets in the community theater that you have to have, that you need, that you use? Not really,
No,
right?
no.
You know, your iPhone, you put it all down.
Yes,
Yeah, when
no,
you're in the
it's-
theater, right?
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Depending on the character, I suppose. But
Oh, there you go.
but it does come down to marketing it. Now, again, everything always comes back to people, and that's the connection you make. So the networks and the connections you make online
Yeah.
are the folks that maybe are going to support your comedy and your theater and all that good stuff.
And are you going to start marketing on your website the different theater projects that you're involved in?
I should.
No,
honestly.
don't should yourself.
No, I don't mix the two a whole lot.
Yeah,
Because
But
usually
you-
my personal stuff is
personal.
on my personal profile on
Yeah.
Facebook or something.
I know, but I don't know. It
That's
might,
that's in my mind whether I
it might
should
be a
sort
good
of mix it
idea.
together.
You know,
Yeah.
like a little tab on your website that says, you know, what I'm
Here's
doing.
what else I do. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
what
does
I'm doing
set you
lately.
apart. Yeah, I
Right?
usually mention it because it'll come up.
Yeah.
When I'm teaching a class or a workshop, I do bring out some of the humor. I'm not there to lecture. I want to make it enjoyable, and bringing the humor into the fold makes it more memorable.
Yes.
People are more likely to engage and pay attention when they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's just my nature. I can't even filter it if I wanted to.
Well, I was going to ask you in the next segment, you know, how important do you think it is to bring humor into your workplace and the environments that you're involved in?
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Well, you can go into all the studies about it that show, okay, yeah, laughter is the, makes you live longer and
Yeah.
you're more relaxed and it reduces blood pressure, blah, 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 all the scientific end of it. But just
Yeah.
in general, certain people work better in certain environments. I
Yeah.
would not work well in a very,
Stiff
right, I can't do that. So I've always, whether it's intentional or not, whether it's welcome or not, I've always kind of been that comic relief since forever.
Yeah.
You know, you're the funny kid in class.
Comic Relief, wasn't there a show, Comic Relief?
Yes.
I used to watch that. Oh my God, we're just
Whoopi
coming off.
Goldberg
Oh my God, we're
and,
coming off.
Billy
Did you watch
Crystal.
the whole Saturday Night Live?
Of course I did.
I knew you were watching it yesterday.
Every
I
minute.
I felt it. I felt it. I'm like, I know she's. We watched it all day, like on the other
Oh, did you?
channels. Oh, there was all the leading up to it. Yeah, I'm so in love with Saturday Night Live.
Yes, that was
Oh.
that's what first got me interested in comedy. Because I was about, I was 4 years old when the show first started, but I remember as early as 6 or 7 years old staying up with my older brother to watch it. And I was like, had the biggest kid crush on Steve Martin. Go figure.
Oh, I loved all of them.
And I still love Steve Martin.
Dan Aykroyd. I loved all of them. All right, well, we got to take another break. I just want to tell you, you can check out Powerful Women Revealed on YouTube now. And we're video recording today's show, so you'll be able to see this. Hello. And I want to share an exciting new opportunity. If you have a business and you want to market your business on the Power Show, you can enter a contest that I'm having for a chance to win an
Cool.
interview with me right here on March 31st is when it will air. So we'll probably record it, so you don't have to freak out about that. Just go to Powerful Women Revealed website, click on the Contact Me tab, and send in your basic information, and then I'll send you the rules for the contest.
Cool.
So I know, right? Oh, I can't wait.
I want to help promote it.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Okay, well, I hope you'll stay with us. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and you're listening to Powerful Women Revealed right here on 95.9 WATD. Welcome back to Powerful Women Revealed. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and my guest is Adrienne Baumann, and she's with 508marketing.com, so you can go there for more information. We did talk about a little bit about how important you think it is to bring humor, and obviously it's important. There's lots of statistics out there. But how do you balance that in your classes when you are giving classes on email marketing?
Well, I obviously want to stay on track.
Yes.
I mean, the one thing it's very important to know is you're not coming to a comedy show. You're
No.
coming to
you're
a workshop. And when I first
You're
started
coming to work.
doing them, we're coming to learn, but in a fun and engaging way.
Yes.
Now, I don't script it by any means. It's not like I'm coming in there going, okay, here's where I'm going to infuse humor point number 1 and humor point number 2. It just happens based on, the audience response and interaction. You get a feel for a room for sure. But at first I was very, very definite about not mixing the two and wouldn't mention that I did comedy, because what I thought it was, well, if I tell people that, I do this, and this, and I also dabble in stand-up comedy, then all of a sudden they're thinking everything you say is a joke.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's
so
not.
I didn't want them to say, okay.
Or that you don't want them
listening.
waiting
Right.
for the joke
Say, oh,
when
should
you're
we laugh
actually,
here?
you're just talking about, updating your LinkedIn profile or
Right.
whatever you're talking about. Okay.
But what I've found is, and this is true for all marketing, it's the authenticity. So
Yeah.
for me not telling that, it was sort of like, well, I don't need to hide that part. It's nothing that I want to completely separate, because it's all the whole picture of me. And what I'm
Yes.
always teaching is, when you're marketing your business, to market the whole business, the people behind the scenes and the whole thing. So I thought, well, I'd better just relax and let some of my personal self come through. So it's my personality, and everybody's unique, and people resonate with. And I've had very, very few people who don't like it or complain, or at least maybe they don't like it and they don't tell me.
Wait a minute.
But
Okay. Oh, so you've had a few people complain about your...
not complain, but sometimes you can just read, and maybe it's just me reading them wrong, but sometimes you see somebody that's just like, they're not in there having a good time. They're just like, yeah, okay, cut the crap, let's move along.
Oh, jeez.
So you never know.
Yeah.
So I'm careful not to offend, but I always preface any workshop asking people, please don't chew gum, because I really, really hate the sound of gum being chewed. And then I do admit that sometimes I might drop a little swear word here and there. As the series goes on, as the session goes on, I get a little more comfortable, and you just get going, and then you might say something that I can't say on the air.
Okay. Like one of those swear words. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how often are you doing the classes?
Oh my goodness.
Are you every week somewhere?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at minimum, there's 2 or 3 per month. But I partner with chambers of commerce that want to offer workshops as a benefit to their members.
Yep.
Other organizations that may have me in for their networking groups or for their particular associations. I've done workshops at other conferences, conventions, things like that. I'll be an instructor at the Cape Cod Conference for Women, for Driven
I will
Women.
be there too.
Yeah.
So you're going to be
Things like
doing a
that.
workshop.
Yeah, I'll be doing some workshops there as well.
Okay. I just bought my ticket a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
Yep. Now, let's talk about email marketing, the
Yeah.
real do's and don'ts, because I know you have a pet peeve.
Yes.
And your pet peeve is now my pet peeve. And the pet peeve is, well, you explain. What is the don't?
The biggest don't is don't spam. And there's a couple of
But I don't know if everybody
definitions.
understands.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So the Can Spam Act, so CAN-SPAM, Can Spam Act of 2006. You can look it up, read all the legalese you want. But the Can Spam Act basically is in place to protect the email recipients from getting spam. So the biggest mistake that happens with folks that I see is, say we're at, a networking event, we're at a business after hours, and we have a little conversation. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. You do this, I do that. Oh, yeah, let's exchange business
exchange cards. Yep.
At no point in that conversation have you mentioned your email list.
Exactly.
But all of a sudden, you've added me to it.
All of a sudden, a few days later, now I'm getting all these emails from, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't
Right.
join your list. I'm not
Subtle.
sure I need to
Major
get your
cracks.
information.
Right. So email marketing has to be permission based. You have to either opt in on your own, as though you see my join my mailing list button, you click it and you sign up to receive the communications, or it's at least implied. So at that networking event, we can go back and say, oh, hey, Nicole, you know what? I also send out a monthly newsletter that shares great tips on social media marketing and what's new, and you can keep up with where my workshops are. Would you like me to add you to it? Yes. At that point, I have your permission.
Yeah. And what I've also done is spin it. So where I'm talking with someone and they keep asking more and more information, I've said, well, if you'd like, I could add you to my email list
Right.
if you give me your business card. And they're like, yeah, that would be great.
So you have to have
you
that
really,
permission.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have a trade show booth and have a fishbowl and here, drop your business card to be in the drawing for my blah, and then take that fishbowl and add them all to your email list. Now you can add them to a list. This is where it gets a little tricky, because within the Can-Spam Act, you are allowed to communicate back with them around that transaction. So that transactional email is implied, meaning you can follow up with the people in your fishbowl about that trade show and say, okay, it was great to meet you. Here's more information if you'd like to
You
join my
didn't win
mailing
or
list.
whatever the thing was. Mhm.
Right, so it can only be about that transaction. And then they again have the option to opt out, which is the law. You have to have that one-step opt-out where they can unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And
But
what
this is
happens
really-
with that is once they've unsubscribed, and that's why you don't want to spam, because once they've unsubscribed, you can never add them back.
Yeah.
Only they can add themselves back.
I know.
So you don't want to tick people off by
I know, it's very touchy.
adding them.
I know, it's very touchy. Now, I know there's no rules. We were talking about this over break with email marketing, but the Can-Spam Act, that was kind of a rule.
That's a big one. That's the
so
one.
how often are these, we got to go to a break, but we have about a minute. How often are these sort of changes or additions or addendums happening? Not that often? Because it
Not
feels
so much as the law. I mean, recently in Canada, the Canadian anti-spam legislation, CASL, C-A-S-L, that was revised just
Okay.
this last year. So if folks are marketing to an audience that's in Canada, then they need to be aware of that, of the changes to that particular rule. So it doesn't affect a whole lot of folks, but being in New England, a lot of folks
Yep.
maybe have clients or customers or do business
over the border.
in Canada too. So you need to be aware of any updates to their laws, to our laws, and adjust accordingly.
Okay.
But it's
All right.
not terribly often, not like Facebook.
No, I know. Facebook and all the other places, things are changing constantly.
Yeah.
So email marketing is not changing as much as all the other places.
Not so much the rules, the best practices perhaps change.
Yes, and they have new best practices that
Right.
come out.
And
Okay.
that's just as it's trial and error. And then we learn this, and this is happening,
Yes.
but then you tweak it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be right back. I hope you'll stay with us. My guest is Adrienne Baumann, and she's with 508marketing.com. You are listening to Powerful Women Revealed right here on 95.9 WATD. guest is Adrienne Baumann, and we've talked a lot about your community theater and email marketing and your business, 508 marketing. What are you doing with comedy fundraising?
Oh, that's fun. So
I'm very excited to hear about this because I don't know anything about it. So.
Okay, well, what we do, and when I say we, I work with my friend Gary, who owns Harmon Marino Entertainment. So
okay.
he's an agent, basically, right? So he's also
he's your agent.
No.
Oh, whoops. Okay, sorry, Gary.
Sort of, I guess. It depends who you ask. But I do a lot of work with him. So he has comics that he books, right? So he does shows at various locations around Massachusetts, around all of New England, really.
Okay.
A lot of the
on the Cape,
theater.
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's a member of his band. It's called the World Gone Crazy Comedy Band, which is really funny if you ever get a chance to see them. And they perform all over the place.
It sounds like I've heard of them. The World, what is it again?
World Gone Crazy Comedy Band. So it's a real band with real musicians, and they play real live instruments, but they do like song parodies and just funny commercial interludes and a little bit of stand-up, and it's impressions, and it's really what they call a rock and roll comedy circus.
Have they been here on WATD? They have a show, Almost Famous.
I don't know, but
we should connect.
Get him on there.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
So what we do as far as comedy fundraisers is we'll partner with a nonprofit and do a show that's the ticket, ticket proceeds would go back to that nonprofit. So for instance, we've got one coming up in February 28th.
Okay.
That's to benefit the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, and that show is going to be at the Chatham Bars Inn. So,
nice.
Right. So folks can buy tickets to come to the comedy show, whether they care about the nonprofit or not, but the proceeds will go to the nonprofit. So that's something really fun. And they do a lot with, local sports teams. They're doing a show up here in Plymouth for, Plymouth girls, I forget, hockey or volleyball or basketball. I think it was basketball. I'm sorry, Plymouth girls basketball. So any nonprofits that are looking for a different, unique way to put on a fundraiser, they can book a comedy show.
Do it this way. Now, so the World Gone Crazy Comedy Band is playing on February 28th, or am I getting that messed up?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. I got that right.
And
okay.
I'll be there. I'll be hosting an opening.
Great. So you're basically
that's what my
emceeing.
partnership is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Wow. Now, how often have you been doing this?
A lot in the winter and spring. So there's shows all the time all over New England that not just the World Gone Crazy Band does that other performers that Harmon Marino Entertainment book. So it's a matter of just plugging in, can you do this one, and this one? So I've done stuff, mostly in the off season. We've got dinner theater all winter season that's in the John Carver Inn and the Cape Cod Resort. So we do shows there for them.
Okay.
And again, various themes with different performers. And then a lot of the shows that have been fundraisers, like for Wareham Schools, we did a show there a couple of months back in the fall.
Nice.
And wherever else.
Okay, now what is this shark nonprofit shark?
The Atlantic White Shark Conservancy.
Oh, what is
to
that all
protect the white sharks, and to educate people that sharks aren't evil and don't kill them.
Oh, geez.
All that stuff. It's important, and especially on the Cape and in Chatham.
I know. I love all animals, but sharks are a little scary.
Stay out of their environment. You'll be all right.
I do.
Don't dress like a seal and go swimming. That's pretty much it.
I don't go past pretty much my knees, I think, in the ocean. So I'm
old enough to remember when Jaws came out.
Oh my God, that movie was so...
That was one of the worst PR things that could ever happen to sharks.
Oh, the poor sharks.
I know, right?
Oh, so now what are some of the other nonprofits?
As I said,
the school, the Wareham.
The schools or sports teams, any other organization really that wants to do one. So we're doing.
What does the whole event entail? If somebody just wants to somehow utilize the services of the Harmon Marino Entertainment and have you guys come in and do a performance, is it always the World Gone Crazy Comedy Band? No. So there's variety of things, and they can just contact Gary.
Yeah.
and sort of figure out a time and a venue and
I mean, the service is there. I mean, obviously that they do shows that are not for nonprofit fundraisers. They do shows anywhere else too. But the segment here, that is the idea that, nonprofits are always looking for some kind of fundraising event that's going to draw people and be successful. So a luncheon is great. A golf tournament is great. But comedy shows, remember it was really big for a while. It was Texas Hold'em. Right? Oh, we're going to do those casino nights, and that was big for a while.
Oh, okay.
But the comedy show
and the comic relief
really,
that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, way back when.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So it's that kind of idea where you can put on a comedy show, host it, it's to benefit you, and then, anybody who comes, buys their tickets, whatever, then you can include whatever else you want in the night. If there's an auction, because some of the events that we've done, there's the comedy component, but they also have
a silent auction
and raffles and things like that. I mean, that's up to the nonprofit to do, obviously. Yeah. But what we do,
it's such a great idea.
Yeah. So we'll help promote it for sure. We market it. There's a reduced fee for hiring the performers, so you get a nonprofit rate, basically. And we're just there to help raise money for the worthy causes.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
Well, we are out of time. We only have about a minute left. Is there anything else you want to share? No?
That's a tough question.
Well, I asked you the last time who inspired you. And who did you say? I can't remember.
Oh, gosh. So many people.
Oh, it was a comedian.
Me, but probably Tina Fey.
Yes, that's who it was.
Because I love when people tell me I look like her.
Oh,
this was so funny as we were watching that Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary special, and the Weekend Update segment came on, and so there was Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and Jane Curtin, and
I loved it.
My son, who was still awake, looks at the TV, goes, "Mommy, that looks like you."
Oh, what a great compliment!
I know. So I just
From your 4-year-old
and lose 60 pounds, and I got it down.
Well, you are delightful and very funny, and I can't wait to come and see you. I might try to do the February 28th thing.
Yes.
If I can. I got to look at my schedule. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Adrienne.
Thank you for having me back.
We're going to be airing this on PAC TV, so I'm very blessed to have this amazing platform to promote all these amazing women in business, and I want to thank you for listening and recognizing all of these powerful women right along with me. For more information, you can go to 508marketing.com and powerfulwomenreveal.com, and you can also find us on YouTube. So I hope you'll tune in next Sunday after the news at noon. I'm your host, Nicole Perry. Have a great week, and remember, knowledge is power. Woo! I want to thank you so much for watching the Powerful Women Revealed show. I believe that the Power Show truly is such a fantastic way for entrepreneurial women to capture and share who they are, why they are so passionate about what they do, and how their business is unique and stands above the rest. I love that I have this incredible platform to share with you great women entrepreneurs such as Adrienne. Adrienne and I are essentially both in the marketing business in different ways, but we both get it. In today's world, if we are self-employed, it is vital to communicate who we are and why our products or services are exceptional and communicate it in a powerful way, perhaps with email marketing. I believe Adrienne and I are completely on the same page when it comes to marketing our businesses professionally. And she is on a mission to help entrepreneurs market their businesses with effective and professional email marketing. We don't have to lower our standards just because the other guy or gal isn't quite following the rules. And we both like to drop the cuss words on occasion, but we do keep it clean for the most part professionally. I like to say PG-13. And Adrienne is such a great teacher and communicator. Her comedic timing is spot on, and she takes her teaching to another level and puts the fun back into learning. I feel like I learned so much from her workshops. She totally brings out the sponge in me because I just want to absorb everything that she says. And that's what the Power Show is all about. Really strengthening who we are together, empowering women of all ages to follow their dreams, and bringing a spark of inspiration to the women of our future generations. If you didn't already know Adrienne Baumann, I am absolutely honored to have introduced you to her. I am so proud to promote women in business, promote who they are, what they stand for, and how they are helping people in and beyond our communities. I hope you will tune in next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and I want to thank you for watching Powerful Women Revealed.